Wow, we got people here already. What do you know? All right, I'll go ahead and get started. I'm not dressed for the occasion. I've got to get going. Plus, there's a lot going on that you can find out about this election crazy that we just went through, but not unpredictable, not predicted. I'll just get into it. Then I got to get going. I don't want to walk on David Knight or anybody who's going to do this in-depth analysis, which I have no intention of doing. So it is Wednesday morning, the 9th of November, 2022. Hello, everyone. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for letting me know I'm 5 by 5. And this, like I said, will be real quick. As I have long discussed and warned, the United States is being Balkanized. You know, one of the things they want to do, the establishment, the neocons, the Anglo-American Alliance, the New World Order, etc., etc., etc. They wanted to break up Russia. That's been one of their goals for a long time, and they've somewhat succeeded over the years. But people have been looking elsewhere about what the United States establishment has done to other countries, ripping them apart, destroying their societies, etc., and have failed to notice that the same thing was being done to us. And I have been warning about this for a long time. Everybody thought there was going to be a big red wave, and I'm not saying there weren't some successes. Kari Lake in Arizona was good, although I cannot for the life of me understand her support for Governor Little of Idaho after what he did to Idahoans during the sickness. And subsequent to that, he should be pardoning all those people that were arrested by his Gestapo police up there for taking their kids to the playgrounds, etc., etc. But be that as it may, that and of course DeSantis is good. And although I've had some problems with Mike Lee in Utah, he absolutely had to defeat a known CIA asset and operative, Evan McMullen. That was an absolute necessity, and that apparently did happen. Of course, all the numbers are not in yet, they say. We knew that was going to happen. So this election is another sham. If these things had been done in other countries, it would have been used as an excuse for the U.S. to invade. That's just disgusting, and I know you all know that. Let me just hit on a few things here real quick, and then I'll let you go. I want you to go listen to David Knight and some of those others that are doing the really good analysis. Before I get into the Balkanization of the United States, part of showing what's happening here is a very interesting occurrence that has now happened where the Saudis, if you're paying attention, the Saudis are getting into BRICS. Okay? If you don't know what BRICS is, you need to check that out. They're getting into it. In other words, they're deliberately and intentionally and with some real hubris, which is correct on their part in this situation, leaving the petrodollar, leaving the United States. And we've done it to ourselves. We're not drilling here. Why? And yet we want everybody else to drill for us. How is that helping global warming? No, this is about the takedown of the United States, and Biden has been involved in that, as well as many others. And I look at Trump also as being very much responsible for that, but I'm not going to get into the details as to why. I've talked about that for a number of years now. I'm not going to spend time this morning. But the point is, the Saudis are moving away from the U.S., as is most of the world. So here we have this military-industrial complex and these neocons and this foreign policy that's been out there trying to force other nations into our monetary system so that we can control them, and breaking apart their countries to accomplish that. And now, if we open our eyes, we see that our own establishment is doing it to us. So as I have been warning for a very, very long time, the Balkanization of the United States was proven in this midterm yesterday. Look at what happened. Did people actually come out and be upset at the way the government had treated them? Well, there were some success stories, as I've just mentioned. Actually, a number of them. But as Steve Deese put it, or maybe it was Beatty. I don't know, remember which one now that I've been watching. The blue states got bluer, pretty much, even though the red states got redder. The point is, the Balkanization is happening. There is no common ground anymore. The intelligence community, the Anglo-American Alliance, the WEF, the New World Order, our own government representatives have made sure that our people have been denigrated, have been debased. And unfortunately, the people have chosen to be those things. And as a result, we're seeing what's happening here now. The company, well, it is a company, actually. It is the Corporation of the United States. It is a company, corporation. But the U.S. is showing that there is no unity here. There is no common ground anymore. There is, and I'm not saying that it's as easily divided as, between black and white. I'm not meaning that racially, but it's not clear. It's not evil and good, because there's evil on the conservative side as well. But the openly evil, as Isaiah put it, their sin is as Sodom. They don't even bother to hide it anymore. Not necessarily just the sexual thing, but their evil, just wholesale. They don't even try to hide it anymore because they know they can't be touched. They're protected by the apparatus of the establishment that's been put into place, the security system, the medical system, the legal system, the military-industrial complex, et cetera, et cetera. It's all on board with this. And the United States is being torn apart deliberately. But I've been warning about this for a long time. And so on Twitter this morning, I mentioned it last night too, late, on Twitter then and today, I've been tweeting and retweeting some of my statements about this balkanization, and that my warnings have been proven to be correct. That the United States is no longer it certainly isn't a viable world power anymore, despite its economic and military power, which are dwindling, as I've warned, but also internally. We are no longer a country united by any type of common value system. It just isn't. And if you want to be united with the Democrat value system, then that alone shows that there's been a lot of problems in our nation. Those things are just not conducive to continuing good human activity. Okay, I just mentioned also the situation with the election here in the United States, that my suspicions about the election being, you got to be careful how you say things on here, that there would be some difficulties. All right, that has been borne out. I question whether the election would even happen. Well, the election happened, but the evil that has the grip on our country knows what it's doing, and the results yesterday prove that, in fact, we are not getting better as a country. We are not. We are being separated more and more all the time. The attack on us with this whole thing has been very subtle. When we were thinking that they might try to do something like a false flag or whatever, the October surprise thing, which is, some of those have happened, but not to the extent that we thought. But it was very subtle, like the situation in Maricopa County, which, as of this morning, I think is still not resolved. The printer machines? Whatever, right? Any excuse they can come up with. Okay, and then finally, all I'll say is that the Anglo-American Alliance, the New World Order, the American establishment is losing power internationally, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago, and it's not going to get any better. And unfortunately, because this is an evil empire, when it loses its influence, and it's been doing what I'm about to tell you, it's been doing it for some time. But when it can no longer control what's happening on the outside, it's going to turn those weapons, and it is, and it has been turning those weapons against us internally, and it's going to get worse because that's how sociopaths operate. All right. So I just want to warn you that they are now going to up their game and become even more tyrannical. And yeah, unfortunately, like I said, high voltage. I'm not going to say that the Red Army is our hope. What I have said for a long time is that people of nations can't really fix their nations, because this whole thing about of, by, and for the people is a lie. Okay, it's to keep you under control. However, like in history, when a nation got so corrupt and so degenerate that there was no hope for it, inevitably it was conquered by a foreign nation, by a foreign power, by a foreign military. And that is the way, apparently, whether you believe in cause and effect or that God does it, that is going to be the punishment of the United States. That's all I got for you. I just wanted to come on and let you know where I stood on this thing, and that midterms proved that what I've been saying about the Balkanization of the United States and about the division between evil and good, if you will, just to simplify it. Again, not because the conservatives are good. We have our own lies and our own disproportionate activities. But regardless, it's been proven that was correct. And I see that the Kellys, both Julie Kelly and her brother, have pretty much said the same thing on Twitter yesterday, and some others have too, Mike Cernovich and some others. I'm saddened by it, giving all the time that I did to this government and knowing the evil that it was promulgating around the world and now at home, the things that our people have suffered for because they thought they were defending liberty, and now they find out, at least if they have open eyes, that that's all been a lie, and now they're coming to take it from us. Yeah, John Fetterman. Although at least you know what he is. You know, a lot of these people pretend to be something they're not. At least with Fetterman, you know what you're getting. I guess that's a positive in that regard. Okay, I got to go. As you can see, I'm on my way out. Just wanted to say those few things. I didn't really have any collected thoughts formally to give out this morning. At least Liz is gone. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I was going to run for her seat. Did you know that, Jesse? I was going to run for, I think I told you that a couple of years back. But you know, that's really an illusion of grandeur. You know, there's no way there's no way, not with me. As I've often said, Jesse, and you know what I'm talking about, and all the rest of you too. I don't follow these traditional lines. I just don't, and I have my good reasons for not doing so. And so I'm hated by both sides. I'm hated by the Christians. I'm hated by the Jews. I'm hated by the pagans. I'm hated by the agnostics. I'm hated by the atheists, because I have found that all of that is all an illusion. I know that's going to hurt some feelings there, Jesse, but that's just the way it is, and you know how I am. I recognize that I am a pariah. I am anathema, and I'm happy about that. I knew even as a young man that, as the scripture says, friendship with the world is enmity with God, and I knew that innately, and I knew that where the majority of the people would be is not where I needed to be. And I think I've pretty much made a lifetime profession of not being where everybody else is. And I've been minimized for it, persecuted for it. Lots of really bad things have happened. My family torn apart, other things because of that. I'm not saying I'm pristine pure. I'm not. I'm the first to admit it. You know, I'm not a prude. I've talked about my problems with traditional Christianity and religion in general, all of that, and you all should know that. But time proves more and more as it goes on that for the most part, I've made the right decisions, even though it's caused me a lot of difficulty. And I do pray for forgiveness for the errors, the sins that I have done. But they come nowhere near what I see the majority of others do. Okay, I got to go, guys. Just want to give you my quick take on the midterms. It proves the balkanization of America, of the United States, is well underway, and that's intended. It's part of the warfare against us by our own establishment institutions. So my predictions have been proven to the letter. Out here, gotta go.